Hey all, what's going on? It's Chris Daniels here, aka CD Play Zero. As many of you know, one of my goals with this channel is to shine a light upon the contributions of all the forgotten fingerboarders that have been lost over time. Today, we are going to ask the following question. Who was the first German fingerboarding superstar? But before I'd start, I'd like you to answer the following question in the comments. Who was the first fingerboard pro that you looked up to? Also, be sure to hit that like button for me. Actually, scratch that. Mash that like button. I thank you in advance. It can be argued that the first fingerboard superstars were the fingerboarders that were featured in Tech Deck's videos, Fingers of Fury, and Flying Fingers. These videos included fingerboard pros such as Matt Johnson, Darin Langhorst, Damien Bernadet, and Tony Pauthex. Two of those fingerboarders, Matt Johnson and Darin Langhorst, actually flew down to Chile and Mexico with Coca Cola to do a fingerboarding tour, and were joined by two more fingerboarders, Pat Wells and Dan Watson. I've made multiple videos featuring those fingerboarders in the past, which is why this video is on the first German fingerboard superstar. Between 2000 and 2001, there was a fingerboarder who was tearing up fingerboarding contests. You may be thinking it's fingerboard legend Elias Asmuth. Nope, Elias' contest dominance was many years away. Well, perhaps it was Boris D-Rex Dici. You're not too far off there. Boris did start to attend contests around 2002, however, it was not him. Well, surely it must be the godfather of fingerboarding himself, Martin Winkler. Wrong again. Actually, this fingerboarder from Donaueschingen, which is a town of around 20,000 residents in the Black Forest, at 1.15 straight fingerboard contests in a row. This fingerboarder was none other than Sebastian Kiefer, and he was one of the most prominent fingerboarders during the early days of the fingerboarding scene. His streak of 5 fingerboard contests set up a path that would lead to greatness. He eventually had this streak broken, placing 3rd at the Titus Larock contest, 3rd again at HDG Rockdown School Party, and 2nd at the opening of the German Championship Series in 2002. All were great placings. However, Basti came back with a vengeance, winning at the Badisch Fingerboard Meisterschaften at the Regio Jam Neuenberg over a young Boris Dici. He followed this up with winning the Fingerboard Open at Karlsruhe, beating out 2 Munich legends, the young Nick Herzog and the godfather of fingerboarding, Martin Winkler. You see, during this time, it was common to see the same fingerboarders placing towards the top of events. Fingerboarders such as Jan der Voigt, Luca Lindenthal, Michael Cooney, Felix Kruger, and Stefan Haas. It was a year or two before fingerboarders like Christian, the Freestyle Gott Ult, or Boris D-Rex Dici began to make their own marks upon fingerboarding. Speaking of fingerboard superstars, we will be sure to touch on the D-Rex himself in a future video. Fingerboard contests were relatively spread out across Germany. During the 2003 German Championship Series, we saw contests in 8 cities across Germany. Basti attended most of these events. He placed 12th in Munich, however followed that up with a 2nd place finish in Frankfurt. Unfortunately, Basti had to sit for Hamburg and Bochum because he dislocated his elbow. When he came back, he placed 6th in Schwarzenbach, 4th at Karlsruhe, 3rd in Berlin, and 6th in Larock. At the end of the series, the points across all 8 contests were tallied up, and it was the famed Pornstorm legend, Chris Mad Heck, winning the series and becoming the German champion, with Tolga Axit and Timo TKY Krantz placing 2nd and 3rd respectively. For the series, Basti actually placed 4th, which is quite the accomplishment, given he missed 2 events due to injuries. If Basti had been able to attend both events, it is certainly possible he makes up the point difference and closes that gap. Sebastian Kiefer was also part of the early Black River squad, which included the following riders: Timo TKY Krantz, Christian the Freestyle Gott Ult, Martin Winkler, Tomasz Schweiger, Timo Lieben, Michael Zimmer, and Benny Buchta. He was also the first German fingerboard pro to be sponsored by Tech Deck, and would soon be joined by Boris Dici. While we don't hear about Basti Kiefer these days, the prominence that he had in the early days of fingerboarding was actually massive. Kiefer's renown even reached those of us in the North American online fingerboard scene, where we'd seen contest news posted on fingerskating.ca, where we would see fingerboard contest results posted on fingerskating.de, fingerboard.de, and skateboarder.ch. Thank you for watching this video today. If you've enjoyed this video, please be sure to check out the History of Fingerboarding playlist, which features nearly 4 hours of fingerboard history. As always, hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave me a comment of the question I asked before, and be sure to subscribe. I'm wishing you all the warmest of greetings, and may your kickflips be as steezy as ever.